When evil rose in the palace, when blood cried from the house of kings, when the seed royal was marked for death, God was hiding a promise in his house. A child in the temple, a king in the shadows, the hidden king. Darkness sat upon the throne of Judah. A cruel hand reached out to kill the Lion. The house of David seemed to drown in sorrow, and fear moved through the land like midnight wine. The sword was drawn against the promised seed. What hell could not stop through generations, it now pursued with jealousy and greed. But heaven had not yielded to the terror. Near the throne, Jehoshaphat hid the fragile promise, where worship rose and holy oil still burned. And in the house of God, away from evil, the hidden king was quietly preserved. Inside, hey! For 6 long years the child stayed hidden, while evil ruled and lies were royal robes. Yet every day the temple held a secret, a living promise no one else could know. Priests kept serving, and near the altar breathed the future crown. What seemed delayed was not abandoned. God was waiting for the hour to sound out. Then came the day the silence broke open. The captains gathered, covenant was made. The boy was brought beside the pillars standing, and on his head the crown of kings was laid. The law was placed into his trembling hands. The oil was poured, the trumpet split the air, and all the people shouted with one thunder, long live the King! For God the hidden places. Do not mourn what God has covered yet. What He conceals, He still anoints. What He protects, He won't forget. The promise may be out of sight, but it is never out of His head. The seed may sleep beneath the terror, but God still watches over every plan. And when the hour of heaven comes, no evil can hold back the crown. No sword can stop what God has chosen. No darkness can keep promise down. What He has hidden will be revealed. What He has guarded will arise. The child once covered in the temple will stand in power before all eyes. God preserves what hell tries to kill. God protects what He has spoken. God keeps alive what men call lost. God remembers every token. The throne is not for darkness forever. The light is not cut off by fear. The hidden King is still among us, and God's appointed day is near. Hidden King, kept by God in secret place. By what the enemy tried to destroy, God preserved by grace. Hidden King, heaven's purpose still alive. When darkness thought it had the throne, God was keeping hope inside. You were not forgotten, only hidden. You were not abandoned, only covered. What God has spoken, He still preserves. The hidden King still lives. Darkness